Hello and a very warm welcome back to my dear listeners. This is your host Sharmishta back with episode 2 of The Strange Murders. It was late afternoon already and the inspector had to go back to work. Kiriti decided to visit Norin Mullik's house the following day. Inspector, I wanted to ask you something. Did you speak with the servants of the house? Yes, Mr. Rai, I did. In fact, I have their statements right here in this file. Would you like to have a look now, before I leave? Kiriti nodded and took the file. He glanced through the pages carefully. Once done, he closed the file with a smile. Well, Inspector Rahman, let's make that trip to Norin Mullik's house tomorrow. I need to speak to his driver especially. Did you find anything in those statements, Mr. Rai? Yes, one thing is common. The reference of a lady, or shall we say, a beautiful lady. His servants and driver, all of them have mentioned about a beautiful lady who used to visit Norin Mullik regularly. And of course his driver Nondu, who talks about them being shadowed by a black car. I need to talk to him. Very well, Mr. Rai. We shall go there tomorrow morning itself. The next morning, Kiriti and the inspector reached Norin Mullik's house. The driver was summoned. Nondu stood before them, wringing his hands nervously. Well, Nondu, I have read your statement, said Kiriti. I want you to elaborate further. What is this black card you have spoken about? Tell me everything that you know. Sir, I know very little, but what I had seen, they seemed strange to me. Strange? How? Well, 2 weeks before Sahib's death, he had gone to a jewellery store, Seth Hiralal store in Park Street. I had accompanied him inside the shop, though I stood a little distance away. Sahib had wanted to see a pearl necklace. He told Seth Hiralal to show him a real pearl necklace. Pearl necklace. Surely for a lady, Kiriti thought to himself. Sahib was seeing the necklaces on display when a tall, muscular Pathan came into the shop. He had a deep, loud voice. He asked Seth Hiralal to show him diamond necklaces. And then, my Sahib, he just became a statue. He didn't wait one moment longer. He turned around and hurried out of the shop. I saw fear on his face, sir. Sahib quickly got into the car and asked me to drive home fast. I see, murmured Kiriti. And then? That black car, sir, a few days before Sahib's death. My Sahib used to go to the riverside every evening. We used to come home around 9 o'clock. I was noticing that a black car would be following us. I told Sahib also, but he asked me to ignore it. He said I was seeing things. But no, sir, that car used to be following us. And then, the night he died... what happened that night, Nondu? It must have been around 9:30 or 10 at night. I'm not sure. I had just finished my dinner and was outside the house taking a stroll. Suddenly I saw this Pathan. That same man at the jewellery store? Are you sure, Nondu? 100%, sir. I did not make a mistake. He was standing under the street light across. I saw his face. He was looking up at the balcony. That man didn't see you, Nondu? No, sir. I was standing in the shadows. He waited. And then I saw Sahib come into the balcony. He saw that Pathan, and the Pathan bowed slightly to Sahib. And my Sahib didn't wait a moment longer. He hurried back to his room. Well, Nondu, now this is something new you are saying. This is not there in your statement. Why didn't you mention it before? I didn't think it was important. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's okay, Nondu, said Kiriti. One last question. That lady, do you know her? Not her name, sir, but she's a very good friend of Sahib. She used to visit regularly. Sometimes Sahib used to meet her outside also. That will be all, Nondu. Please think again. If there is anything else you remember, do tell us. You may go now. The driver turned and left. Well, well, Inspector Rahman, quite a few clues we have now. A lady and a Pathan, who obviously knew Naren Mollik very well, and someone who our victim was frightened of. Please get me the personal details of Naren Mollik as soon as you can, Inspector. There's a lot more to this than is visible. A mysterious Pathan. Was he someone from Naren Mollik's past? A beautiful lady. Who was she? So much to find out. I shall be back soon with another episode. Till then.